So I deliver these scripts, and I mean, I go up to this table, and it's just like you would imagine it, like in Ocean's 11. Everyone is sitting around this table.
That's crazy.
You know, like, you know, Don Cheadle's got his like foot on the chair, like drink in his hand, and like, you know, they're all just chilling. And I delivered the scripts, and they were like, "Oh, like, what up, Jack?" And I was like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And like, that's kind of when it hit me, like, holy shit. These are the people that I grew up watching. These are my favorite actors of all time, and they're all fucking right here.
That's nuts.
I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here before I say something stupid. So I dropped the scripts and I just walked away.
What's up, everybody? This is episode 10, I believe. Yeah, season 1, ep 10 of the DropCast.
10th.
The 10th. We got our boy here, Jack Anderson. Take a look at the camera and say hi, everybody.
Hey.
It's okay. It happens all the time.
Okay.
So we've known Jack going on, what, like 3 years now? Is this 3 years?
It's probably longer than that. I mean, 3 years if you don't count COVID.
Yeah.
With those lost years.
Yeah.
I think we've known each other for about 5 years.
5 years, yeah. So the first time I ever met you was on so I've heard your name a few times, but it was on the military base shoot.
Oh.
Yeah. When you were being focus puller. Yeah. That was fun. That was a fun time.
Oh, that shoot.
But yeah, so Jack is a director. He's actually a jack of all trades, no pun intended, but where Jack comes in with Drop when he really shines is when we just need somebody to kind of, we need a director, and he's really good at it. And I think when we were first starting off and we kind of got more involved in some bigger projects, bringing Jack on was probably one of the best moves that we did. Just having you around, because we've talked about this before. I mean, we're still small fish in a big pond, but like there were times where we needed somebody to help us take that extra step. And I think in the professional production world, you definitely helped us do that.
Well, it was awesome. I mean, you guys gave me an opportunity to kind of step into that role. You provided, the groundwork. Provided the groundwork. To
right there.
Hop in and step in. Yeah, I'll get used to this. All right.
It feels weird, but you almost want to. They're disinfected and everything too, but having it. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, you're good.
Adjust it to where you're comfortably
I've
sitting.
got some tape that I can. No, we're
Got
good.
some gaff tape over there, but
yeah, that thing has been an issue lately, actually.
But yeah, we kind of saw your potential and kind of gave you the reins on a couple of those projects with directors' roles and stuff. I mean, specifically, I think the first big one we worked together with was PSA, and that was a whole thing in itself with a huge crew and all the volunteers. Shouts out to everyone that helped out. But that was the first one. I mean, I think because we were like, all right, let's actually do this, and knowing you, and I knew what you've done in the past and connections that you've had and stuff, and just being able to have you kind of take the reins on some of that stuff was, I think, a great opportunity and learning opportunity for all of us. And
yeah.
PSA wouldn't have been what it is without you by any means. So.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I mean, it was those were really fun.
And it was really awesome for me too, because as a producer, I usually did most of the stuff myself, logistically. So having you there to not only back me up, but also kind of take the reins in certain directions. Hey, John, by the way, I've got this connection or this or that. And I even remember when we were doing some of the early stuff with it, when we were location scouting, I was I don't know if this location is going to work. And you would be no, well, it will. We're just going to put up pipe and drape 200 feet around here and there. And I was just I didn't even think about doing that. What? So just little shit like that, where it just really helped a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, those were both really big projects. I mean, they were fun, and it was terrifying hopping into both of those because we didn't really know Courtney Bell. We didn't know that whole team, and establishing the relationship with them, and then making that a relationship with us was kind of a big task to see. It
was really a show and prove moment. I feel for us, where we were all right, let's really hit this one out of the park to wow some people. So, and I would say we did. I'm pretty proud with that project and stuff. I mean, obviously that was how many people we kind of drew together to help out to make this one piece was pretty cool, and all the documentation that we have of it and such.
Oh yeah, I mean, we pulled together so many people that just volunteered their time for that whole thing, and it was like we couldn't have done it without them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was also just kind of amazing to see everybody come out and have fun with it. I mean, because we have like 20 people on crew.
Yeah, if not
like
more.
The first day, and a lot of people were super green.
Yeah.
You know, and I think everybody kind of like worked their buns off, and like, you know, we wouldn't have been able to do it without, you know, all the people that kind of donated their time. So
Yeah. So there was PSA, then there was ICE, and then we did Deer Rap also, and then we just recently did that thing over the summer for Nat Geo and Garnier, and then there's a Cranbrook stuff, and I'm just trying to think of like all the
I mean, we've done like
bigger
Honey
things
Drip
that we've done with you.
and
Oh yeah,
a
you
couple
guys
other
did that together
projects.
too.
And then we've worked with Garrett a handful of times on some projects as well.
Yeah, we've probably got like 20 plus projects under our belt.
Oh yeah. And I think every time we work on something, it gets less fear-based because we have confidence in each other. And I think that's something that like I've kind of noticed grow. It's like every project seems a little bit more possible. You know, we went from, you know, renting Ferraris in Miami and not letting them leave the driveway because we were so afraid, to throwing, you know, cars on flatbed trucks and driving them around the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like less fear-based. You know, we're like, all right, we trust this team. We trust these people. Let's go do something nuts. And yeah, I think that's what it's all about, really.
The thing is, it's really important to find a team that you can lean on with your weaknesses, and they can pick up where you fall short and stuff. I mean, that's kind of where Drop.Creative kind of happens. So
yeah. No, it's so far, like, I can't wait to do the next one.
yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of like just Honey Drip, that brought back so many sticky flashbacks.
Yeah.
That was a crazy one. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, it's Rekno's, like, I think it was his first music video, but the track was called Honey Drip, and there was a lot of honey dripping around a lot of places, people, and things.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, in the pre-production for that, you know, I listened to the song, and we were doing this kind of like creative meeting, and years ago I saw this thing on Vimeo that like this photographer took, I think, like 5-gallon buckets, and he got like 25 5-gallon buckets of honey, and he would just pour it over models.
Yeah, wait, what was the budget for just the honey alone? Because honey's not very cheap.
The honey probably ate up like 60% of the budget.
That's where John went broke.
Where are we talking about? Are we talking like $200, $500, $1,000 worth
I
of
think
honey?
we allocated about $500 worth of honey.
People didn't get paid because of honey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I stressed. I was like, yo, you guys, there's food coloring and corn syrup. We can cross some.
No, bro. We got to go straight honey.
I mean, a lot of honey, or a lot of bees sacrificed a lot of hard work for that fucking music video.
I know.
You know, that's fucked.
That is the film industry, though. It's a very wasteful industry,
I mean,
unfortunately.
I had a perfect workaround. I mean,
You did. I mean, I think it was like time sensitive.
yeah.
And we
It'd
knew
have
that
to be
honey
people
would
like
be a thing.
stirring buckets of food color and making sure it's all the right.
Did these
color
honeys
and
come in
stuff.
vats, like gallons, little bottles that were emptied out into buckets?
No, he went and bought pallets from Costco.
Yeah, Costco pallets of like the smaller honey. Things.
Holy
And then
fuck.
we emptied it into like your like bathroom trash cans. If
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I
Whoa.
like the idea because, you know, originally I brought it to him and I was like, hey, like, let's honey drip. I've wanted to do this for years. And
So you came up with the concept for that video?
for the honey
Okay.
part of it, yeah. And I was like, because the whole idea behind it is like honey is more of like a preservation thing. So it looks like, you know, you find a mosquito from prehistoric times and it's baked in amber. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with the models in this video. Came out a little different.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Well, ideas
you
build.
know, yeah, ideas build. People, you know, took it in a different light, and it was a bit more sexual than I had intended it to be.
Yeah.
But I think it worked well. I
It
mean,
definitely worked well. People had a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, so this was all done in the studio at Eightfold.
yeah.
And we literally had, it was just black tarp just all the way leading, like just a line all the way to the bathroom, so people could, they were getting dumped on with honey and then like walking this like black,
their bathroom has a
black
shower
trash,
too, doesn't it?
trash
Yeah,
bag
exactly.
to the shower.
And they would say that it took them like 3 or 4 different showers to get all the honey off.
Couldn't even imagine.
But it was just, we just had them scooting in, scooting out. And
Yeah, it was like a little assembly line of just honey madness.
yeah.
John Humphreys was having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Whoa, jinx.
Yeah. To say the least.
I
having a good
missed that
time.
video. I was unavailable for some reason.
Yeah.
I remember
I think you were out of town or something.
I remember that I could have gone, but for some reason I made the executive decision not to, and I kind of regret it. But for me to do that, I think it was important for me not to.
Well,
Dude, we wouldn't have been sitting here for this day if you showed up to that music video. You don't know. Butterfly effect, bro.
Yeah, we're just gonna say it was a good idea not to go.
that was a cool video though. I mean, it was so much set piece driven, and what did we shoot that in one day?
It was all one day again.
It
Yeah.
was a very long day. Ryan Kearney just built this amazing flower chair.
Yeah.
And she built the honeycombs. And it was just, the night before they were like FaceTiming me with these set pieces. And I was like, oh my God, like this is
A lot
going
of
to be
hard work
something.
went
Yeah.
into
Yeah, Ryan's good at that stuff.
Oh,
Speaking
she's
of Ryan, she helped us out on the information entropy piece.
Yep.
you
That was
directed,
another piece
so-
I totally missed out on that little
I know
last.
that was, we forgot about that one. That was a whole big campaign that we all did together.
Just perfect eye for aesthetic. And, she went into that shop and information entropy and just kind of rearranged every shelf that they had there.
Oh, yeah.
It just made it look incredible.
Yeah, you can go into their shop and see her work playing on the TVs there with all the canvas layouts.
I actually had a friend of mine tell me that they were disappointed the first time they ever went in there because the shelves didn't look like that.
Yeah.
And my friend Teresa, she was like,
False advertising.
yeah, she was like, I thought they were going to look like that. That looks so cool. And I was like, actually, the person made it look cool.
Well,
it
like
still
we-
looks cool, but there's just
Sorry.
other products.
Sorry, we can't just have weed just spread out on the table all day.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that honey drip project too, you had some sort of nightmarish honey issues, hard drive issues. Maybe some honey got stuck in the hard drive or something.
Oh, honey did not get stuck in the hard drive, but
Honey got stuck in a lens.
Really?
honey did get
Yeah.
all over lenses and
Yeah.
cameras. I mean,
What? I didn't know that.
I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't like detrimental, but
Yeah.
like it was just.
Oh, just like a
we
little
had
wet
to-
wipe?
We had to
Yeah.
clean some stuff. Yeah,
Oh, I thought we were like, this
was like-
focus ring is sticky now.
that's that's why the 19 mil works. No, I'm just
No, I
kidding.
don't think that's it.
That one is seen its time. But no, that project, yes, that was an unfortunate event. We were probably about 90%, 95%
Yeah.
done with the edit of that project. We were actually working upstairs in Eightfold, and one of the we just had poor cord management, and
Well, also it wasn't backed up.
it wasn't backed up. The footage was backed up,
Yeah.
but the problem was the current Premiere folder or the Premiere project that I was working in wasn't backed up until like the very beginning. So had all the footage still, thankfully. But dog comes in of our good friend Zach, and the dog just trips the cord, and it literally just the hard drive just falls like that on its side, and it was enough just to completely destroy the whole drive. So I lost like all of the beginning of 2021 work, which was fun.
To Studio
And
Dogs.
recently, just like last week, I had the replacement drive that I got from that crash as well. So don't buy 10 terabyte Lacy D2 Pros, even though they have fast read and write speeds. They're junk.
I was at Costco and I have I'm on a phone call and I have my AirPods in and it's like text from TreySarmento, text from TreySarmento, text from TreySarmento. 3 minutes later, hey, I gotta go because Trey's calling me and he texted me like 3 times. Calls me, he's like, yo, dude, where are you right now? Like, I need to get one of those other hard drives that you have because I need to start backing this up because it's failing as we speak. I was like, oh shit, I'm at Costco.
Thankfully, it gave me the message on my computer just randomly. Like, I was just working on it, and then just like this message popped up and was like, disk is damaged, whatever. Like, it's failing. Like, you can't save anything onto this drive, but you can still like transfer it off of it. So I was like, all right.
Nightmare scenario.
So didn't lose anything this time, thankfully, but that was enough to make me never buy a D2 Pro again. Fuck you, Lacey.
I don't know, man. I like my Lacey 4 terabytes.
No,
Those
the
are tight.
4 terabytes are fine.
Those are, like,
What I've
indestructible.
learned, I mean, we've never had a problem with the G drives either, the 10 terabytes, but what I've learned is just like the smaller terabyte drives are just more reliable. 10 terabytes just start to get big, clunky, plug it into the wall, lots of power. Fun stuff. But
G drives are where it's at.
yeah, we have a stack of those. I mean, we have like 50 terabytes just in those that are no problems whatsoever, but this one that just failed too. I was, like I said, just working on it. Didn't even fall or anything.
Do anything.
Just like done.
So Jack, how did you get into video and stuff? I know that like
Yeah, I haven't even heard this story. Actually.
I know a little bit. I know like
Okay.
you were set hand a lot for like
Well, it goes
stage acting, theater.
way back.
Well,
longer
like
than
yeah,
that.
chapter 1. How did
Chapter
you
1.
pick a where did this come
Very
from?
chapter 1 was my cousin had a camera and I was like 5 or 6 and he was doing stop animation and I was like, this is cool. So that was what I did that whole vacation when we went to go see his family. And so I kind of kept that going and then
Like Lego stop motion and all that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Where the
yeah.
Legos heads would pop off and then we'd use Play-Doh as the blood.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Good
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
yeah.
I've done
That
that
is
too.
as tedious as it sounds, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was cool. And so I love that. And my parents bought me like a little video switcher when I was like 6 or 7 so I could start to kind of edit things. And this was all on to VHS from
Interesting.
high 8 tapes.
Okay.
And it was just like I had 1 or 2 ins and I could actually like play the footage back and then put another edit on it. And so kind of figured that out. And then being the super cool dude I am, I got into aggressive rollerblading when I was
Oh
about,
yeah, inlining.
9. And, we had to make skate videos.
Yeah.
We had our little crew, sagged our pants, wore Jankos.
Watch the movie Brink. Disney Channel original
So
series.
many times.
Oh yeah.
And when I was, I skated from, I had little cameras. I had like ZR45s, and this was all mini DV stuff. And then I was about 13, and I broke my femur. And my parents were like, what is he going to do? He's
Did you break it rollerblading?
No, I broke it playing soccer.
Okay.
That was my sport, but I also skated. So, I was like, all right, well, I want to just film and start making skate videos because I'll be able to like, film them.
Kind of fits.
Yeah.
You can skate and like
This summer's not going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Essentially. So I just took all my money that I saved up and bought a GL2.
there you go.
And
boom.
would
It's a
put-
GL2.
What's
That's
a
like the
GL2?
staple of like skate video
Yeah.
camera.
I thought that was a VX1000.
That's
That's-
a Sony. This
yeah.
is a Canon.
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
So
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I just would strap one rollerblade to my left leg and have my crutches, and I had a full cast on my right leg all the way to the top.
Jesus.
And I'd scoot around downtown. We go to these skate spots, and I'd just sit there, post up, film, take all the footage back, and then learn how to edit. I think I got like a cracked version of Adobe like 2.0, Premiere 2.0 that I
Yeah.
started editing on. And just kind of fell in love with it and was like, okay, like there's something to this, and kind of would, be the kid in high school with the camera. I had, what was it, like a 700, there was like some still camera that I had that was pretty sweet. Then I had the GL2, and I'd go film, concerts and whatever I could do, and then take those back and edit it. I had no idea what I was doing, but fucking loved it.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I started, and then, left high school, went to Washtenaw, went through their program, started doing education stuff at Washtenaw, like working for Washtenaw right out of that program, and yeah, so that's kind of the story.
How do you think you got into directing, really? Because you have these visions and like you're good with people.
Yeah,
And I've seen both sides of you where it's like there's really nice Jack, and then there's like I'm in directing mode, like don't fuck around Jack. And
Yeah.
I love both sides, but like where did that happen? Where did that grow?
I think it's the intensity to see your vision come full circle for directing wise. I think growing up playing sports is a really good background for team management. You know, I was a goalkeeper, so I was like the backbone of the team when I grew up. And, you know, like everything kind of rides on your shoulders when you're a goalkeeper. You know, you're part of the team, but like if you fuck up, like, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know, like you're either going to win the game or you're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, when going into directing things, there's a seriousness that has to happen, because if you are not pulling your weight or way more than the weight of anybody on the team, it's your fault if that project is not cool. It's your fault if people don't get fed on set. You know, it's your fault.
It's
like,
your name right there.
it's your name. You know, it's a lot of pressure. And like, you know, I it's not that I go out to shoot things to not piss people off, but I want to do the opposite, is make people have a really good time and have a project that people are like proud of. And there's a bunch of intensity that needs to go into that to kind of make it go smoothly on the day of.
Yeah.
You know, and there has to be a constant focus. I mean, when you're in it, you're in it. There's no waning. It's a blast, but it's exhausting. I mean, there's been so many nights where you just are going home from a shoot and you're not really lucid. It's
like your seventh trip to Detroit. Like
exactly, it's like you're
days.
high. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you're like giggling.
Speaking
and,
of,
yeah,
sorry, totally interrupting, but like you've also done some really cool stuff. Not to say the stuff that we weren't doing was really cool. Not to say the stuff that we weren't doing was really cool.
Shit.
But I want to let you elaborate that. What did you do like all last 1 year ago today?
Oh,
1 year ago today, exactly.
Today.
No, you know what I mean. Like last November.
Last
pretty
November,
much.
yeah, I got
Oh, it was that.
Yeah, it was.
It was, yeah,
before
it
Christmas.
was last November. I got to work on Steven Soderbergh's film No Sudden Move that was shot in Detroit, and it was produced by HBO and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and you were there every day.
Every day, 3 months, you know, 12 hours a day.
And you directed that, right?
Yeah, I directed.
What role did you have on that set?
I was
Because you were pretty hands-on with some pretty cool people.
so I was the first cast assistant. So essentially, I would kind of take orders from the second AD, and I dealt with all the A-list celebrities. So when you know Don Cheadle needed a log roller and his lines delivered
It's like
to him,
hospitality for all the top
just making
actors,
sure
you
people
know?
that knew what they were doing, like the actors knew, like Matt Damon knew what he was doing for the day, and like Ray Liotta like knew exactly what car to get into to leave where he was staying and go, and just go through their day of days and read scripts with them and just kind of like.
So you were just chilling with the boys.
I was, there was times where it was intimidating. I mean, think when I was dealing with, that was a cast of all cast. It was
Dude, yeah.
stacked.
That's what I'm saying. Ray Liotta?
Ray Liotta, Don Cheadle, John
and you said
Hamm.
Ray Liotta's like just how he is in the movies, like outside of the film.
That's not a character.
Hey!
That's Ray Liotta.
He was amazing. He was such a kind guy. He was one of the few people that would be like, oh, let's go get some pasta. And we'd go walk and we'd talk about film and talk about Detroit. And he'd be like, well, what are you into? And like really interested in like me, where everybody else was pretty busy. It's a big movie. So, but I actually got to spend some time with Ray. John Hamm was wonderful.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so it was neat. I think everybody one-on-one was palatable. I got to like sit and hang out with them and talk to them and get them ready for their day. Essentially, make sure that they knew what they were doing that day and that they were taken care of. And I think really the only time I got starstruck was one night I had to go deliver scripts, and they were like, there was a bar at the top of this hotel that was just gorgeous, overlooked the entire city. And they're like, we need 5 scripts upstairs. And I think it was Don Cheadle who called me, and I was like, okay, yeah, no problem.
Because you were talking to these people one-on-one over your personal cell phone and all this other stuff.
My text feeds from those would be like, it was ridiculous. It would be like, you guys would be occasionally in there, and then it would be like, like John Hamm, Don Cheadle, like, Trey
Hold on,
Sarmento.
Trey, I can't text you back. John Hamm's texting me right now. I gotta go.
Yeah, so I deliver these scripts, and I go up to this table, and it's just like you would imagine it, like in Ocean's 11. Everyone is sitting around this table.
That's crazy.
Don Cheadle's got his like foot on the chair, like drink in his hand, and like, they're all just chilling. And I delivered the scripts and they were like, "Oh, like, what up, Jack?" And I was like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And like, that's kind of when it hit me, like, holy shit, these are the people that I grew up watching. These are my favorite actors of all time, and they're all fucking right here.
That's
nuts.
I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here before I say something stupid. So I dropped the scripts and I just walked away.
Yeah. Oh man.
God,
That was an exhausting time for you, though, wasn't it?
It was tiring, man. I mean, that's
that was a full-time job for like
3 months.
more than full time. It was a great experience. Me and my friend Peter Harold, another director, brilliant director from Ann Arbor. He was the one who actually reached out and was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing for the next 2 months?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, what do you mean?"
It's like, talk to me faster, please.
Yeah, he was like, "I need to know by tomorrow if you are ready for like one of the biggest opportunities of your life." And I was like, "I'm in." I'm into it. Yeah,
I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
I remember when you had that opportunity and you were like, "I don't know." And then you did it. I mean,
it was interesting. It was during COVID. I got my nose reamed every single day.
It was primetime COVID.
It was terrifying.
It was
man.
last November. Yeah.
It was terrifying. But
last November. Sorry.
Last November, correct. Mm-hmm. Warner Brothers and HBO did such a Loctite job of the COVID procedures. And that's kind of where like I was like, oh my gosh, like this is how, big motion picture companies actually do things. And I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of it. Like obviously my title wasn't huge, but
still such a relevant title, and there is so many like working pieces inside of these feature films that like
you were part
just
of the puzzle.
being like the talent hospitality or whatever. Like that's like still such a huge role and opportunity, for anyone.
Yeah, I mean it's it was just cool. It was just to be with them and just kind of see how the big dogs do it.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing for me. It's like, oh, this is how it's done properly, and this is how it's been done properly. And there's no, they pull out all the stops every single day. And it was, I think there's like 300-400 people that worked on that film.
I mean, was that too like a lot of union like based stuff too? Because I mean, I know with feature films and stuff, it's all usually union based. But like with your opportunity, that's kind of a diamond in the rough, if you will, or like a really lucky opportunity, I would say, without being like involved in an actual.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's different levels, and I know they hired a lot of union, like IATSE union people for the camera team. I know Greg Horvath, which is he's in my local in Ann Arbor. He's also a 600 guy. He was, I think, the second AC on it. So a lot of people. I mean, it provided a lot of jobs. I wish there was more of that. Exactly. I really, it was a great experience. But working on films a feature film is exhausting.
Well, I mean, you were probably, I said you were working a full-time job, but you were probably clocking in like 60, 70 plus hours, especially with commute too, going out to Detroit.
Yeah, but it was about 70 hours every single week. But it was fun. It was enjoyable. I mean,
worth it though. I bet you don't regret any second.
Worked side by side with this wonderful woman by the name of Carla Murray, and she, she's been in the business for years, and she was so good at her job, and she knew Hollywood, and like that was something that I didn't know. Was just how like the little tiny things worked, and kind of got to see how she did her thing. It was amazing.
Well, I mean, because with I'm sure any profession, but I mean with filmmaking in general too, or like specifically, there's just like a million ways to do everything, and to see like the industry standard of so many things on like how to properly do X, Y, and Z, like I feel like is super valuable, like in those levels and positions and stuff,
Yeah.
Because you can be doing something and still getting it done, but then someone who's like a pro at it is like, oh no, you can just swap whatever around. I mean, I'm not really talking about anything here, but
well, I mean, it's. I think if I were to have the experience that I did with No Sudden Move when I was 20. Opposed to 30, it's night and day. I mean, if I have any, advice for younger filmmakers, it is at any cost, get on the biggest set that you can possibly get on and just try and understand the inner workings of it. Even if you're like filling up waters for someone.
Yeah, I mean, you took the one position offered to you, obviously, because of that opportunity.
And luckily,
stuff.
it was like a super amazing position.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
It's like, you're trusted to work with Hollywood's elite. And I was like, okay.
Cool. Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm into it.
You're just like looking around like, you're talking to me, right?
Yeah, like me? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's, for me, it always eats me up. Like sometimes, like I want it so bad, Like there was that episode of Euphoria where Homegirl was writing her script and they kind of broke the fourth wall. I think it was like 2 episodes ago. It was Cassie's sister.
I don't think he's really caught up. You're still on
I'm not
season
caught up.
1, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, there's that scene with Cassie's sister when she's like going over her script, and then
she's
it breaks.
writing it about real life. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just breaks down. What is it called? Washington, Oregon. The name of the actual play?
Oh, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah. When they're going over Oklahoma, and then they like break the fourth wall, and she's sitting in the director's chair, and like in the background, she's like walking around set, like, "Hey, this is this person, this is this person," and I'm just watching them, like, "Fuck, dude, I want to be like, I want to be on that set like every day." Like,
I want to be on Euphoria.
no, not Euphoria, but you know what I mean. Just seeing the inner workings of all that stuff going in the background. I mean, I see it all the time, but I don't know. Maybe I was just feeling a little more nostalgia.
I think
that
too.
night,
There's a lot of.
There's set envy and like
total set envy.
I mean, we love what we do so much that it's like
There's set envy.
I want to be there,
But also, like,
it's addicting. I mean, this is the best, profession of all time, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
I think everybody kind of secretly knows it just a little bit.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, it's that, but also I find myself like not taking a step back and being like, okay, we have done like X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. Like, I feel like it's so much just go, go, go that we don't really stop and like appreciate what we have done as well, and like recognize that we have been on like bigger sets or these other sets and stuff, or
It's not
whatever
enough.
that may be. I mean, it never is enough. Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm never satisfied, which is like the problem, and I'm guilty of it, to where like it's just like on to the next, even though I've like accomplished this goal, then it's just like, all right, cool, like what's the bigger thing, So it's like that's an issue that's like I'm dealing with.
No, I totally get it. It's like you hit the ground running at one point, and then rarely do you look backwards. Like all of a sudden you'll catch yourself like filling out like a resume, and you're like, holy shit, I really have done all this stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's cool, it's really neat. It's like I was looking at, Trey and I started teaching at Washtenaw, and they had us fill out a resume, and I was labeling all this stuff, and it's like, oh my god, HBO, Nat Geo, like Kanye West, just the list was going on and on and on, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of stuff that I've done, over
I
these
feel like you just
past
get
10
so
years.
jaded, like just
Yeah.
on to the next kind of thing. To where,
Why can't I be doing that 4 times a week, every day or every week for the rest of my life? You know?
That, I mean, it's the strive to want to do
consistency,
better,
and the strive for consistency for sure.
for sure. Yeah.
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 There's some fun shit. But yeah, Jack, what else have you been working on lately? I know you did some stuff for a car commercial recently.
I've been working, I mean, not a crazy amount of stuff. A lot of the stuff is kind of just,
Doing a lot of union stuff, so like that's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
huge,
I think,
huge in too with like, speaking of consistency,
Yeah, I think it's always been important to me to kind of have different lifelines, that are all related or on the same field. And
Yeah,
I think
eggs
that's-
not on the same basket.
No, like, because I started out in education and always loved film and would do film on the weekends, but I had, full-time positions at Washtenaw and then at the University of Michigan doing educational content. And then when I went freelance, that scared the shit out of me, and I picked up a job with the Ann Arbor Union, which is still theatrical based and still film based. So when I'm not doing these film projects, I'm in, working in the arts, doing film stuff, but it's not so much a commercial based film stuff. It's more live event, and it's consistent and it's wonderful, and pays my insurance. And, you know, it's just this second, third line of defense when, you know, things fall through. Because as we know, you know, we pitch for projects all the time. And sometimes it looks like we have a huge schedule, especially in this past year with COVID. Dude. Cancel. And you're like, oh, you know, those thousands and thousands of dollars I was supposed to make this month
don't exist.
Like, there's nothing. What the fuck am I going to do? So, you know, I'm able to call my agent with the union, and he's just like, oh, yeah. Like, have you on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Or like, and I'm like, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. And when I have a project that I'm doing, I don't have to say anything to him. I'm just like, hey, I can't work for the next 2 weeks. And he's like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's
having that support. Yeah.
Yeah. Best part-time job ever. And, you know, they're all wonderful people. Like, everybody's appreciated it. Like, you know, and, you know, there's no like undercutting with the union. Everybody's pretty tough. If you fuck up, they'll be like, you fucked up, you know, opposed to like, we'll write an email and then send that to 5 other people
coddling.
Before you hear anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, more my style, you know.
I mean, yeah, and there's a difference between the Ann Arbor Union and the Detroit IATSE sanction. I mean, I've worked right before COVID shut down. I started with the Detroit one, and that was diving into the deep end. Yeah, it's a big operation over there, and we were right into Ford Field tearing down. I think it was like Garth Brooks' show or something, just scaffolding after scaffolding, just wrenching for hours and stuff, just with these tough as nails dudes. Like,
they just do it all the time their whole life.
Yeah. You know,
it's overwhelming when you go jump into a big union job for the very first time, because there's not much direction. And, you know, if you ever...
It's just like, it's construction, basically. It's like construction where damn near, you know? I mean, just a little bit more techie or like a show-based, event-based, but...
I mean, construction without like huge pieces of equipment.
Construction for the Jonas Brothers, you know,
exactly, or Taylor Swift. Yeah,
which when the show goes up, you're like, "Holy shit, this is fucking amazing!" But I've been working on that LED wall for like 3 days straight. You know,
they were
just clipping stuff, so it's interesting. Yeah,
I was working on the Garth Brooks show, but I think the week before was the Taylor Swift show.
Oh my gosh!
And they said that they had 50 semis, all with her face on it, but all with the stage equipment. 50 full-length semis.
That's a ton.
That's a lot.
I've never
think of how much
think
of how much that costs just to like move from venue to venue.
Oh yeah,
like,
well, they got the money for it. That's the whole point. You got to spend money to make money, baby.
I mean, yeah, it's just that's huge. But no, I totally agree with like just having that like
redundancy,
backbone.
And, redundancy.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm struggling with right now is because I just made my first phone call to the union the other week.
Yeah,
and I didn't get back, but like just having that consistency of like, man, I don't want to go get a real job.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, you know, you learn and you get enough experience in this industry where you're like, there are other outlets.
Oh yeah,
you know, like the teaching thing like kind of fell onto our laps, you know, this semester, and I was like, okay, so I'm making money every Thursday, sweet. That's one thing down, you know. And just getting more stuff like that that's, you know, related to your field, so you're not, you know, not knocking bartending or anything like that, but I'd rather be having a camera in my hand or talking about video stuff than, you know, having to do that kind of, you know, bartending. If it was like at a filmmakers bar, I'd be down. But
and again, it's like, yeah, like Thursdays are covered, but then like the other 6 days or 5 days or however you want to look at it, like going back to that unhealthy and hindering mentality that I have of waking up every morning broke and treating your life like that. But
and that's the thing
not
too.
Healthy
it's like
for you.
It's like I wouldn't mind bartending or anything, but like every single person that I know that's in it has the most inconsistent, unhealthy life ever because, you know, those restaurants don't really give a shit, and it's like, oh, it's Sunday night and I haven't got my schedule. Am I opening for Monday tomorrow? You know, it's like, hey, dude, my calendar's planned out for like a month and ahead of time, so. You know, that kind of stuff just doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I've been trying to do is like take the producing director thing, like organization into my everyday life as of late, you know, because when we go to set, we know and we account for every fucking minute that we have in those 2 days.
Staring at your watch the whole time.
Yeah, whole time. I mean, you account for like when you can go eat a chip. You know, you know that's at like 6:37. And lately, because, you know, things are up and down with COVID and things have been getting squashed, I sit down and I do my calendar every Sunday night, and I pack out everything. I pack out my meditations. I pack out my dinners. You know, I just line it up in my Google Calendar, and I don't feel so like lost.
Giving
Dude,
yourself
I'm
a little
slowly
bit more of
getting
like
there.
a schedule on a day-to-day basis.
It's a hard day-to-day, minute-by-minute, hour-by-hour schedule.
I need more routine in my life,
But
for
it's
sure.
not.
I need
But
to
it's
take that
easy
out.
shit. It's like, oh yeah, I should be eating now, or I should be editing now, or like, you know, just breaking it up into digestible things. I mean, you look at my schedule right now, and you're like, fuck, you're busy. I'm like, well, you know,
It's really
like,
just all there so we can all see it.
It's like pick out an outfit for class on Thursday. You know?
Man,
But it's there.
I need those reminders to eat. I am
Yeah.
the worst at that.
That's so crazy.
It's literally, if I drink coffee in the morning, which I do every morning, I'm good till 5.
No.
It's horrible. Like, I don't
know.
It's horrible. I know. And I don't have a single appetite or want for food. Like,
That's crazy.
Your brain's screaming at you.
Dude, I wake up.
dude, it's really bad.
I
need
wake
to
up.
break it.
Yeah, and I if I don't have like 1,000 calories in me by noon, I'm dead.
I just
Like
need
I'm
to
literally
stop
gonna
drinking
die.
coffee. Switch to tea.
Well, you gotta drink. You gotta eat food with coffee, man. You
Well,
gotta
yeah, eat food first, then coffee. So I can,
Yeah. Plus, you're in the because I've seen you. You like to eat late, so that's why.
And that's where it fucks up. Yeah, I don't
Just
eat
don't
till
eat late.
5, and then like I'll eat like at 9 or 10. You know.
If you don't do that, then you'll wake up hungry. Because I wake up and I need, I'm a bacon and eggs kind of guy. So that and then
No.
you know what I mean? Yeah. So then like I'm the same way, Jack, right now, and the gym's really been helping me with that too because it's now I'm even counting my protein. So just having those things throughout your whole entire day is like kind of keeps more structure, and it helps you kind of realize like if I'm not doing something right now, then I'm just not doing anything, and that's not good.
Right.
I'm literally like after this podcast, probably gonna go home and try and structure some stuff out because honestly, these past couple weeks have been like just wake up, hit the espresso machine, and just computer. Like that's
Jeez.
it, bro. It's messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to get my gym in before, like, I hate going. I have to go before the rush. So work, food. Holy smokes,
Yeah,
boy!
yeah,
That
you
looks
are
great.
packed.
That looks
Yeah.
great.
Color coded and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, it's the same thing, and it's one of the only things that really helped me keep structure. And then at the end of the day, you want to sit down and just play PS5. But then I'm like, shit, my website still hasn't launched yet. I still have like 60 more photos to go through and just other things like that to keep motivation going for that. Like after this podcast, Wilkins coming over and me and him are going to edit all night that doc just because I'm like so close to it. I need somebody else. So,
Which the food doc?
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's Friday and I don't want to do it, but I have to, so
Discipline.
discipline. But yeah,
man.
I mean, having Jack on set's super nice because, like I said, there was a lot of things that when we were moving forward didn't really completely have at our fingertips the way that Jack does. I mean, usually if there's something that I can't get or there's something that I can't figure out how to get, I'm calling Jack to figure out how to get it. And then you're like, oh, I know a guy who knows exactly what to do in this situation. Or just like, motorhomes or techno crane or any of that shit where it's like, And there's still like this thing, and I was thinking about it today when I was at the gym, and I was like, there's these things that Jack does that like other people who have been, a producer for longer or director for longer can just do faster than me. I don't get how, and I still haven't found it. Like, I remember there was that one thing where we needed filming permits in Detroit for that Roddy Ricch thing that fell through.
Sure.
And like Katie was also helping produce that. And I was calling like 4 or 5 times a day, every day, leaving messages for the film office to get a hold of Diamond.
Yeah.
Homegirl. She's fucking awesome. And she helps us do everything. But I was just like, couldn't get a hold of her. And then like, I think it was like the second or third week of that. And you were just like, oh yeah, I got a hold of her. And I was like, what? How? And then you were just like, I don't know. I just call her. I was like, there's some secret that you're doing. Like you're calling a different number or saying something else to somebody. And there was another thing just like that where Katie was just like, oh yeah, I know somebody. And they pushed me right through to him. I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I
You
want
don't
to
know
get
the
there.
producer phone number? You just got to dial a star in front of everything.
Yeah, right. And then everybody's like, "Oh, gotta take this. It's an important call."
Even if you're not somebody, pretend that you're somebody.
Yeah.
That was fun when I was working for Warner Brother. Just be like, "Hello, this is Jack Anderson. I work for Warner Brother. We need like the head table," and they're like, "Oh my god, like we'll get
got
you
some-
right down.
some
like,
pretty
wherever-
important
whatever you
people."
need."
Had a little bit of authority.
Like,
there.
hello, I'm super important. It felt so
I'm dining
wrong.
with John Hamm and Ray Liotta tonight. Can you please clear a table for 4?
It was funny because actually, I remember when you were going in and out of Detroit for that, there was that morning where me and you were with June filming that other ad spot in
We ran out. We saw him and we.
No,
ran
he
out
dropped
real
off a
quick.
couple rollies.
Yeah.
Did you ever
that's
find
what it
those?
was. Yeah, but then
Yeah, I found them there at
Okay.
the studio. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I rolled by the hotel you were working out of a couple times though,
Yeah.
and saw you there, and was like, "Hey, through the window."
Yeah, and I mean too, it's like something that's funny about that is like when you're fucking busy, you can do so many more things.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like I was exhausted and busy, and I was pumped to go drop off some stands to you guys. But like when you're not busy, it's hard to do anything.
Yeah, I
it's
know
so
what you
funny.
mean.
It's so funny. Like
That is valid.
they
'Cause you
say,
can just-
if you want something done, ask someone who's busy. And I think that's very true.
Because they're already going. The
They're
gears,
going.
the RPMs are already there. The engine's already warmed up. You're already
Dude,
going.
I honestly felt that way last night after teaching. I was like, I honestly could do the podcast right now. Like I've talked so much that I'm like, I could run, just like keep going.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I
you
totally
condition
get what that's
yourself.
saying. Yeah, you get that momentum up with just like
That's why, like
Going.
when you're, in it and directing and like you guys know, like producing and DPing, it's like when you're done with a project that you worked on, you're ready to do the next one with ease.
Oh, totally.
With
Yeah.
ease.
Totally.
But when you're like going into a project and you haven't flexed those muscles for a while, it's like
Your batteries aren't charged.
you're not
Your
as
things
good
aren't-
at it. You're not
Yeah.
as good at it. You got to get back in that mode. And I think it's important to constantly stay flexing. So, yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons me and Trey even started this podcast in the first place. We were just so bored. Like during COVID, it was like everything was stop and go, stop and go. We were like, dude, we have to do something. Let's create some content somewhere. Because even though we were doing shit, it was just like not enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
you still play soccer much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing tonight.
You kick the ball. Oh, you're playing tonight?
Yeah.
You play a Wide World?
Yeah.
Don't you play till like 2 in the morning or something?
No, we're too.
The senior league?
It's not even a senior league. So it's a bunch of wash-ups that used to be really good.
Oh, yeah. I think
Yeah.
you told me about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of international people, a bunch of people that used to like play pro overseas, and it's a bunch of quality soccer players, but it's an excuse to go run around and scream at your friends for an hour on a Friday night, and then like
It sounds like a great time. Yeah.
it's awesome.
I
It's
love
awesome.
playing
I like
at Wide
sports.
World too, like
Yeah.
with the
Boards.
Boards,
Yeah.
checking people and all that. It's good times.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's
When
fun.
you play like indoor soccer, it's a little bit different than like
It's like
outdoor soccer.
it's like a hockey rink.
yeah.
It's like, don't go up
You
against
can-
the board.
you
You
can-
might get slammed.
It's okay to check people in board like indoor like that.
Do you ask first?
Running up. Hey,
Excuse me.
can I
No, just
excuse me,
before
can I
just
check
before
you?
the game, just like, hey, bud, is it cool if I check the shit out of you
If I
throughout this
wreck
next
you right
game?
now?
Our goal is to play another day. I'm too old for that shit. Oh god.
But if you watch like the pro indoor like soccer leagues and stuff, they like it's hockey.
It's
but
yeah. It's intense. It's fast, and I still play goalie. So
Oh, do you?
yeah. I mean, someone snapped their leg last week.
What?
Heard it.
The
heard it
goalie
go.
did?
No, just a field player.
Oh,
Just
jeez.
he went down. I heard it, and I was like, that wasn't bodies hitting each other. That was his
was like-
tibia.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When I broke my tibia fibia, Mad Mike, he thought that it was a water bottle in my back pocket that I landed on.
It's a the sound when it happens. It's not.
I think I'm just gonna Google that.
I didn't think I broke it when I first broke it. I drove 3 hours back to St. Joe's Hospital with a broken tibia and fibia because I drove a stick at the time and I was with Dina and no other means of going. I was either going to go to a hospital like in Grand Rapids and they were going to wrap me up in a boot to where I really couldn't drive.
That
or
was recently.
it was like
Couple-
4
like
years ago
four-
now.
Yeah, I
Almost
remember
4 or
when
5
that
years ago.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops.
But I ended up driving all the way home, and then they told me that I broke my tibia and fibula because I just thought I sprained it or something, and they were like, "Yeah, you snapped that thing." And I was like, "Oh."
Clear through.
Yeah, I was driving with like one foot, and I drive a stick too.
Did I ever tell you about that time on St. Patrick's Day at MSU when I trucked that dude down with a bike?
No.
I was on my friend's like old Schwinn. It's the same situation. I thought I didn't break it, and then by day 3,
Wait, you ran someone over with your bike and hurt yourself?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Just getting the story laid out on the table.
So we're going up to MSU. All my friends go to MSU. My sister lives there. She's got a house. All that stuff. Got there around noon. Streets are flooded with people. Don't have a single drink in me yet. My friend Olivia is like, "Yo, I'm on a rooftop on blank street. Come say what up." And I was like, "Yo, Evan, let me get your bike." He's got probably like, I don't know, like 100-pound, like 1970s, like Schwinn road bike. This thing was a monster. It was like a 21 speed. So like in 7th gear, I could go like damn near 30 miles an hour. And like, you know me, I was like, fuck yeah, like I'm going to start bobbing and weaving. So I'm like in the streets, you know MSU and U of M on St. Patty's Day in the streets pre-COVID, it flooded. And I'm just like zooming. Very stupid of me to do. And I'm just weaving in and out of these people. And just right out of the corner of my eye, I'm going probably like I said, like 30 miles an hour, 25 at least. Some dude just sprints from his yard into the middle of the street to catch a football. And I try to stop at the last second, and I don't. And he doesn't even see me because he's not facing me, you know? Boom, make immediate contact. Dude goes down. I'm basically like riding him like a surfboard. Oh, no. The bike is like in front of us somehow. He stands up, and the curb stopped him.
Does he just look like a friggin' hamburger now?
Dude,
like cheese grater?
He didn't have an eyebrow, and he didn't have a nipple. Because he was wearing one of those big cutoff shirts, and like his whole chest and face were just covered in blood. And I was like, "Holy smokes, dude! I'm so sorry." And he was just like, he was wasted, and he was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "No, that was totally 100% not my fault." Like,
yeah, you asshole.
Yeah, and he was but then he was just like, "No, but like I ran out in the middle of the road, like you're biking and all this stuff." And I was like, come to think of it, it's kind of probably both of our faults. But then like he didn't even care, and he's just slurring his speech, draining blood. I like barrel rolled into the grass, like the curb, like I said, stopped him, and like I slid off of him, and like cleared the bars and everything. I was like, "Whew, I'm good." And then I look over, and there's 2 homeless men. Like, "This is a nice bike, man. You mind if we test ride it real quick?" And I was like, "All right." Nobody, give me my bike back. A whole crowd of people had surrounded us, obviously, because they're like, "Whoa!" And then his girlfriend runs out, and she's like, "Oh my god, like you're covered in blood." He's like, "No, babe, it's okay.
My fault."
No, exactly right. And I was just like, dude, I was like, I'm riding with that. And then, then all of his friends got like really angry and really in my face. So as fast as I could, I just got on the bike and
went to your friend's house.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't. I just went back and met up with the
too
homies.
much.
And I was like, "Yo, Olivia, the block is hot. I'm not going over there." And then, it turns out that I snapped my wrist all the way up to here and didn't know. And then I like partied at MSU for like 2 days. And then I think
no alcohol involved either, and you didn't even know you broke it?
Was it alcohol after?
No, there was plenty of alcohol involved after I broke it. I'm saying the moment that I was on the bike and got into that accident, I had not taken a sip of alcohol yet. So like, if that makes it any better.
I mean, that's just surprising. You breaking your arm, no alcohol, and just being like, "Oh, I just hit it."
Well, yeah, that's what it was. I was like, "Ooh, it kind of hurts." And then like all weekend, I was kind of doing that thing where like
ooh,
keeping it just a little elevated. And then like on day 3, I just remember
I'm having so much fun.
It wasn't even that bad. And then on day 3, I just woke up in the middle of the night and that thing was purple and swollen and everything. I was like, dude, I should probably go home.
Yeah,
like, you gotta go to the hospital. But yeah, none of you guys were there with a camera to catch it, so I was pretty pissed about it.
Always the best moments always go uncaptured.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's a totally unfilm related story. The beauty of it is we've never had any injuries like that on set.
Oh, except for me popping my knee out that one night.
Oh man, that did happen.
That was horrible.
You weren't there for that. You
I'm glad you weren't there. That was a shit show of a shoot. Fuck that
I
shit.
remember hearing something. Why wasn't I there? What was that?
There wasn't enough money.
I mean, we're not gonna name names on this shoot, but it was just a low budget shoot. It was a shoot.
Never working with that person ever again. It was pretty terrible. But yeah, you climbed into my car because you were going to hang out the back.
I was literally just like grabbing gear out of John's car, out of the back of the car, and like I went to put my leg down, and the way I stepped or something. It's only happened one other time, but my kneecap literally just like popped out and was like on the side of it, and I just dropped right to the ground and like was holding it and just yanked it right back in. It happened one other time at a music festival where I was just like standing there dancing, whatever, and then it popped out, and same thing, dropped right to the
knee brace.
Right to the floor. I have one. I don't wear it regularly though.
Trey.
Dancing, getting down, boogieing.
Try this. Whoa.
Check this out, guys.
A wobbly leg.
Hit the wiggle.
Jeez.
The stanky leg to a whole new level.
Jack, did you see that fight that just happened with the baby at the bowling alley?
I have not seen the
when that guy has the Ari mini.
He's just manhandling that Ari mini.
It's like
smashing it on the bowling alley.
This dude was talking smack to the baby, and then like obviously he's there with his crew, and he's got a dude following him around with a mini on a shoulder rig.
His like personal cameraman just like I think like vlogs on a mini with like cine glass and everything.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Why not?
Logistically.
But then they go
financially.
Yeah. They take the fight to the slippery lanes.
Oh, they crossed the line. It's 0 points. But
this dude's
they scored
like
0 on that one.
He's trying to throw punches with one hand, and in the other hand, he's got his fucking Ari.
Yeah, I'm pulling it in.
And I DM Trey, and I was like, yo, I can't tell because this video is super low res. Is that a Ursa or a Ari? And you were like, bro. Like, oh my God. But yeah, he slams it against the ground a couple times.
Well, he knocked it.
But like as soon as they cross that double line, they're just slipping and sliding everywhere. Oh, great. Of course. Always dies, piece of shit. Fuck you, Apple.
But yeah, Jack, you got any projects in the works coming up soon?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Don't really want to talk about them.
Everything's under wraps until it happens.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to talk about them because
and then they disappear.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, you can't jinx it.
You guys were both on it. We're working on.
Yeah, how's this one coming?
That hat.
Yeah.
Don't be a stranger then.
We're.
Is there a release?
I don't even know how much I can
date
say
for
about
that?
it, but there isn't a release date yet.
Apparently, some people that weren't even involved have already seen some footage and complimented me on my performance, and I'm like, bro, I haven't even seen it. What are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not going to name names.
I was involved, and I've seen it. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I want to see it, bro.
It's a great performance.
I want to see it. I need to get an acting reel going soon.
John had his first feature film role and killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Night. He was, I think the motivating or the light to that fire that night.
He drove the cast of like 20.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
I feel like you were the shining light.
I just feel like the rest of the cast wouldn't have really gotten that feeling or like that vibe of what was happening in that place, not to give away too much.
It wasn't my first time being at one of those scenarios.
It showed. It showed. Yeah. But yeah, no, that thing's still in the works, and it might be more in the works, which is exciting.
I'll fly down to Sundance if it makes it, just to support the homies.
Well, there might be some more work to be done on it, is what I'm saying.
Or like more shoots?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you can.
I don't know.
More shoots. Just throw away the hard drive. Act like it never happened. Who knows?
Yeah, no. But that was a fun project this past.
That was a great time. I mean, that was also another taste of getting a huge all-star crew of like local cats and just kind of every tool that you guys could really pull together and.
Producing on a no bones budget.
Making a feature happen with like just an idea, which was really remarkable.
Crew. I
and it was a huge
from
crew.
Producer to AD after
multiple times.
Called the first shot. They were like, I guess Jack's AD now.
Hell yeah. Know? That one definitely, there was a lot of moving parts to that.
Oof. Yeah.
At an actual.
Yeah, we might have to do some beeping here.
But. Yeah. No, it was a group of super talented people, and it's more, it's another show of that, community thing.
The Detroit film community, and just like how many people too from WCC that like, I mean, we've brought this up before, but like you'll be on a set and they'll be like, you'll hear WCC in a conversation and realize that like all the people you're working around have like gone through the program or something like that.
Or
you're like,
have
what
a
the
weird
hell?
connection
Like,
with
some sort of generational thing.
I rarely work with Pete. Like I never see people on set that are like, yeah, I graduated from Michigan, like at the film program.
Yeah, I mean, there's
It's
a
rare,
couple
but like I
people-
feel like
yeah.
it's just like in the Detroit community. It's like for some reason I just always am seeing
It's either
WCC
what is it,
cats.
MPI or
Or like
Michigan-
CCS and
CCS,
stuff.
and
yeah.
then the Michigan Film Academy or whatever.
Yeah.
Michigan production. I don't know off the top. I didn't go there, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Peter. That was Peter's. That is Peter's. Baby, and shout out to Peter Harold, brilliant director.
Yeah, shout out.
Peter might have to be one of the next people on here.
Well,
We can get him on here for
one
sure.
of my
Yeah.
day one homies. He's amazing at talking. So
Another
I think
Ann
that would
Arbor
be great.
cat, yeah.
Yeah, Andy's super kind. I remember I had COVID, and I had posted it was Thanksgiving. I chose to spend Thanksgiving at home because I thought I had COVID, and I was posted like my dinner of lobster tails and steak, and it said like dinner for one or something like that. Peter like texted me and he was like, "Yo, dude, like come over if you don't have anything going on." And I was like, "Dude, that's so awesome," because like we barely know each other, and I appreciate that. But I think I might have COVID, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But if I did, like, I probably would.
It's a very nice gesture, Peter, if you're listening.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's so selfless of him.
Sweet boy.
Right?
Yeah.
Tickled my heart.
But yeah, I think having you on here, Jack, is a fun one, and it's really easy to go through. But
I like you, Jack. I like working with you.
guys,
where are
too.
we at right now?
Like an hour and change.
What has changed?
How long do these last? I was
However
dreading
long.
this.
No, okay, sweet. We
I
actually
know,
have more
there's
time.
no
I'm going to
reason to
restart the
dread.
camera. Hold on. We have more time because there's stuff I want to get into.
dread.
I just don't like talk. I like doing. I don't like
We've
talking.
been talking way more with like teaching and stuff too. Which,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's kind of refreshing too with teaching, kind of just go in. I mean, we're going over really basic stuff in our class that we're teaching, but like just being able to verbalize all of it and just like, again, kind of the same sort of thing that we did, or like the reason for this podcast was to like talk gear and talk film and just like talk about this stuff, and I think it's healthy, and like you learn stuff whether you're like repeating it or just like instilling shit into your brain, but
Yeah, just constantly in it.
constantly
In it.
Yeah. So we have about 20 minutes left that we can do for this. And I just want to because like I said, if you're still listening, there's a long list of projects that we've worked on. I think it'd be kind of fun just to maybe recap some of that stuff and just get to talking about it. What do you guys want to talk about?
Ooh, good question, Trey. I'll let you guys. This is your show. You
What
guys
projects
steer.
we've done together? Like,
I mean-
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we just do a little recap. I mean, Deer Rap was fun as hail. And then also Ice.
So Deer Rap was interesting because we actually filmed half of it at PSA. Because half of it was originally
Really?
it was originally outside of the barbershop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Because it was
to be continued.
Yeah, it was PSA.
Yeah.
It was PSA, and then there was like a little preview of Deer Rap, and then it's to be continued. And then we ended up doing Deer Rap and all of that. But
Yeah, so I want to...
the Deer Rap idea kind of evolved from just like we were this outside performance scene of this barbershop where we had the crane out and everything. Really crazy shoot. I don't think I've screamed that loud on a shoot out of excitement before out of the shots, so that was hype. But
I was
evolved.
getting made fun of because I was telling people to like get lit and stuff, and they're like, "No one says lit anymore." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
say it
what should I
all the
say?" Yeah, I say it all the time. I still hear so many people say it. They're like, "No, we say buck," and I was like, "Okay, like
Get Buck.
yeah, get fucking buck. Like y'all standing around, let's do it."
But then it back to what I was saying, it evolved into this like car performance of this like camera trick that we kind of came up with, to where it's like Courtney Bell's driving the car, rapping, doing your standard like in the car music video, and then he just all of a sudden, with no one else in the car, and it's a convertible, just stands up and is like rapping, just like no regard to driving and stuff. And that was like
I was like driving and listening to that song, be like, what can I do? Like do a car video. And then I was just like, let's put it on the fucking back of a flatbed truck.
Yeah.
And like have him Captain Morgan the steering wheel. And then that it kind of like, when we like threw that idea out there, it kind of like morphed into all these different variations. I mean,
it's like I want to go back to like one specific take of that when Courtney took it upon himself to.
Oh, are you talking about the blue Bentley that rolled next door?
No. When he was
I didn't
performing.
think that made the cut.
the blue Bentley did not make the
I'm
cut.
talking about what you're gonna say.
But when it did a little bit, but I think it got cut down a little bit. But when he's standing up and then he takes a step back and stands on the back of the back part of the car there, is standing just on the car, like on top of the car,
like 40 miles
going
per hour,
like his hair, clothes, everything,
under
and
the
we're just
Ambassador
like
Bridge,
sitting there like clenching our fists, like holy shit, like no straps or anything. Like this was the most dangerous shit ever.
Detroit Police
But, like,
Department's following us.
Yeah, yeah. So for everybody who doesn't quite understand what we're talking about yet, this music video, we wanted to have somebody basically ghost riding the whip, but inside the whip, and that can only happen if obviously like the car is self-driving, which is not going to happen, or you take the car and put it on the back of a flatbed trailer, which is in itself, me locating that flatbed trailer was
long enough.
That's a whole story in itself, and then getting that car onto the trailer because the car was so low that we had to have like a special car person there. One of my homies, Lath, shout out to Lath, with the race ramps and getting that car on there, and then when that was going on, we had one of our buddies pulling it in a Super Duty like Ram up and down the street under the Ambassador Bridge in the middle of the night with a follow car next to it in the other lane in oncoming traffic, which had Trey and Jack in the back seat or the truck bed strapped down with the camera.
We did multiple different setups to where we did some car-to-car stuff to where we had the tripod and everything like in the back of this other truck that we had. And then also with the full rigging that Advanced Multimedia, shouts out to Trevor and Dave.
They still need to get on here.
Getting Dave.
Trevor said he's down. He said he's down.
Trevor
we just have to
would be
schedule
down.
it in his schedule when he's in town.
Yeah. But they made a fantastic rig to where we had this huge diffusion panel blasting a sky panel
Do you
through
guys
it.
like
and-
show pictures?
No,
we
There's
haven't.
BTS videos of it though. Go to our Instagram and just find it. It's on there.
Yeah, but yeah, huge diffusion panel blasting through to get this nice even light, like even though that we were shooting at night, and there was even like they made space for a tripod there so we could actually shoot on the trailer itself. I remember being harnessed into the trailer itself doing some handheld stuff. We were shooting on the Angenu lenses, which were heavy beasts at the time. They're not at the time, they're still fucking heavy.
I think
but handhelding it, like kind of crawling on the hood, you know.
Well, I think too, like what goes without saying is like having an artist that's
Down
game
for the
enough
count,
to fucking do this idea. Because I hit Courtney up and I was like, got this idea, wanna, like, it's dangerous. And he was like, oh, bro, I'm about it. I'm about it. He was
Shouts
like,
out for that.
I've been skydiving and stuff like that. So,
It was right after all that.
Yeah. Courtney was like, I want to do anything wild.
He was eating the world at that moment, during that time period.
Well, I mean, there's shots of just pure joy in that man's face when he's standing on the back of this car.
Yeah, there's some really there's a longer cut that isn't out there anywhere publicly, but like
we should put that
a
out.
little bit,
put that
of
out.
like strictly the car stuff that we did. I think it was one of the rougher cuts, but I think that one still is like a strong piece in itself because it just shows that sheer emotion that like is pretty sick in that where it got the idea across. And that camera trick played out too. I remember like you touched on the trailer and stuff and how big of a pain in the ass locating a trailer that one was wide enough and long enough and wasn't.
I still remember it right now.
Wasn't a gooseneck, but like we found the perfect trailer that was low enough to where it still sold the effect because it could have easily been like
if it was too high,
like a construction trailer to where it looks like this freaking Corvette's like
driving 5 feet in the air.
Yeah.
I had called literally every single trailer rental place from Cleveland all the way up literally to Petoskey. I'd say it was probably like
I remember that
200. Dude, I was on the phone for 2 weeks straight.
It can't be that hard.
It was so bad. Yeah, and everybody kept telling me.
And then wasn't it just like one of our friends?
I'll get there. At the beginning of the week, I called my boy T-Bone, and I was like, "Yo, Tyler, I need a trailer." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm super busy this week, but like I'll get back to you because I've seen these trailers in person, and I knew that they existed, but I didn't know if they were specifically the thing." And it was one of those things where I felt like such a failure because I was like, "It cannot be this hard to find that trailer." No, it was that hard. They don't make them. And I even went in when I was talking to like those trailer people, they were like, yeah, people don't rent those trailers because that's such a heavy duty trailer and like so specific.
But like it wasn't even. You know?
No, it is. It's because it had to be lower, and it had to have the deep pockets, and it had to be over 18 feet.
Yeah.
And even Rudy and all those
27 feet.
Yeah, all those other people were calling me, and they were like, "You can just get those from U-Haul," and I was like, "No, you can't." So like, finally, after all of that, in a week's more than that, it was like almost 2 weeks. It took up my days, dude.
Yeah.
Days of this. My buddy calls me back, and he's like, "Yeah, come over. Let's look at them. I'm free tonight." Drive over there. It was in the fucking my homie's backyard the whole time, just sitting there. And I remember like I almost wanted to just fall to my knees and just be like, "I found it. I found the trailer that exists." Yeah. And when I told everybody else, they were like, "Cool, thanks." And I was like, "You don't even know what I had to do to go through to get this trailer."
Like, sweet. All right, cool.
Yeah, like
load it up. Let's do it.
Then they hear the phone and they're like, "Man, that took them a while, didn't it?" It's like, fuck. And then it turns out so after we got the insurance and everything for that trailer and everything was protected, when I gave it back to them and like we were worried about like drilling into the floorboards and like doing everything, and I was
didn't
like,
they like crash it or
dude, some new guy just totaled the trailer like 2 weeks after we were done shooting with it, like rolled it and it like flipped a bunch of times and it's gone now.
Oh no.
And I was like, good thing we got to use that trailer right before it ended.
Yeah. Nick of time.
That was a long night. We left set at like 5 in the morning.
I crawled into bed at 6 a.m.
And we were, up. I mean, obviously,
Courtney was up like from the night before that night,
and he went to the studio after.
Yeah,
I didn't
talk about hustle and grind. That's fucking.
I don't sleep well before shoots, so yeah.
But to go
that was a hard one too because we had to wait until and then the car didn't show up.
Yeah, the car was a whole ordeal too. But there was about to be a last minute switch to a Rolls Royce.
It's not going to fit on the trailer.
Whole ordeal. We were guys, like, whoa! We have the dimensions of the Corvette, like perfect.
Yeah, we need a new trailer, but it's not going to fit.
And then they're like, oh, what about a Rolls Royce?
And then we got the Corvette there, and then they thought that they lost the key, so they were like, we can't turn it off. And I was like, what? What is going on? Like, why is all this happening to me right now?
Well, you just gotta stay in it, that was like the perfect like storm to just be like, this is happening now. Let's fucking stay in it.
And you guys were driving around in the middle of downtown on the back of this trailer, having the time of your life. And I remember just being in this really sketchy abandoned gas station parking lot, standing on the literal roof of my car because like I was trying to flag down the cops because like we needed the cops. You know what I mean? And I already had an appointment with them and everything, and we had made an address. And they were like, "Why did you make the address for us to meet up with you here?" And I was like, because this like on Google was a nice gas station, and
it's not anymore.
And then like a bunch of cops showed up, and it was great because I was sitting in the front seat of the car that was towing the trailer, and I had one walkie-talkie that was strictly for you guys, and then I had another walkie-talkie in my hand that was strictly just between me and the cops, and then I had the the Pelican case with the feed out of just watching the whole entire thing, like what the camera was looking at, and I'm getting yelled at by Jack, like, "John, how's it looking? What's this? What's that?" Blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, I have a cop going in my ear, "Mr. Downing, you guys are beyond your limits. You are not going into downtown tonight." And I'm like, "Hold on, Jack. Oh, I mean, sir. Hold on, Jack. What's up, officer?" Like, it was so
because
much.
We had a set. I was like, what,
boundaries?
Woodward.
You guys were pushing those boundaries.
We had Woodward, like a strip on Woodward,
right by the Johnny Noodle King under the Ambassador Bridge. We couldn't go past that. It was too close to the city.
I was talking, man. Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, it's right there.
I can't get out a sentence without you talking over me.
I'll do it again. Keep going.
No, it's good. You covered it. We're good.
I'll do it again. Yeah, I mean, that was it was just like we had to do it. We had to push past those boundaries. I remember the cops, and I was just like, look, like, it's happening. We're going to go downtown.
That's kind of what it was like.
Yeah.
It was more like, "John, it's happening." And then I was like the middleman to tell the cops, "Hey, I don't know why this is happening."
Well, because it was like we were cut off like right when downtown started to get sweet. Like we had to turn around right as we got into like the big building area, and we were like, we need these shots though, like downtown.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I mean, we got them.
We were like, we're going home, like, thanks, officers. And then we just
drove
through
way.
downtown with Courtney in the car. And it was A-okay.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
The blue Bentley. That happened right at the beginning of all of it too. Man, the cops were pissed at me that night. They were not very happy.
Yeah. I mean, that was...
Tell them about the blue Bentley, Trey.
I mean, you keep saying the blue Bentley, but all it was just someone pulling up to it and dapping someone up, right?
No, it was driving into oncoming traffic before the spotter cars and before the police cars, so they couldn't move the oncoming traffic out of the way. And then Rambo was leaning out with his ass on the window, and his whole body was outside of the car with like $4,000 in cash, just waving it and fanning it at the camera. And the cops got on the phone, and they were like, "What the hell was that?" And I was like, I don't know. And then everybody was like, "Why did that happen?" And we knew who exactly did it. But then the cops were like, "Are those your people?" And I was like, "No, never seen them in my life." It's pretty intense.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
That was super fun.
Deer rap, baby.
Oh yeah, and then the car lit on fire too.
What?
Not our car. The car in the eightfold parking lot.
Oh, in the eightfold parking lot, someone's car
yeah.
burned down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we figure out who's that? That was like one of. I think that was one of.
I didn't even really even take that into account at that. Like,
It was too much.
There was so much.
I was just
stuff
like,
going
oh
on.
yeah, there's a car on fire. Like we're focused.
Trevor was like, I was in the van watching The Simpsons, waiting for you guys to get back, and the fire department's like with a saw, like about to take down Eightfold's fence, and he was like, "Yo, I got the code," and they're like, "Put the code in. We got to get in there." And he was like, "Oh shit, there's a car on fire." We got back, and Trevor was like,
Trevor.
"Yo, you guys go look at that car," and I was like, "What?" And it was just melted. And I was like, "What?"
Melted Ronin in there.
Yeah. I don't think it was anybody from the studio. It was like
They were.
I thought it was.
I think it was somebody.
It might have been Tangent Gallery or something.
Yeah.
Or,
It was the little LED lights that they put on their dashboard that sparked in the cigarette lighter that lit their whole entire car up.
Probably made their car look sick though.
Yeah,
so fucking worth it.
it was worth it. But yeah, that was a fun night. It went on very late. It was one of those things where me and Trey realized, like once again, worth showing up first and getting home last.
Always.
Always, if you want to
Always.
get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I need the weather to be nicer though. We need some more late night shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Outside shoots.
Can't wait for outside shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Well,
kind of hit a wall.
I think
We're at an hour and 20.
yeah,
Boy, it
this-
needs a
we could go on
sandwich.
forever.
this wall that we hit, I think, is a good stopping point for this episode. If y'all are still with us, thank you for listening and stuff. And just want to give a thank you to Jack for coming on out, giving us your time and stuff.
Thank you
again,
guys
don't
for
forget
having me.
your tax write off on your gas that
I
you spent
won't,
coming
yeah.
over here.
Thanks.
You can
And another
get a
thing
little bit of
for
benefit.
our viewers, we're going to try to get more consistency on that Monday drop date. We have.
Oh, I was sick last week.
Yeah, Trey was sick, so we missed one, and then one of our guests fell out too on that same week actually. So there's backup. It all failed, but we'll get to Monday.
We're trying to get a stockpile going.
Yeah,
you know,
make it more consistent. COVID's making everything really difficult. Okay, we love you, Jack. Wait, Jack, is there anything you want to plug, Mr. Felipe von Flaming on?
No. Nope. But nope.
Is it
Nothing?
jackanderson.com to go see some of your portfolio work?
All right. Yeah. JackAndersonFilm.com. I don't like
Boom.
plug it. I mean,
You got cool stuff. I mean, if they want to
hit
go
these
look at your
boys up.
stuff,
Hit these boys up. I'm associated with them. Go to Drop.Creative.
all 20 people listening, go check it out.
Yeah.
All right, we love you guys. Love
Yeah.
you too, Jack.
Love you too.